And that's why Abu Hayyan al-Andulusi, he would say this often. He would say, يَظُنُّ الْغَمْرُ أَنَّ الْكُتْبَ تَهْدِي أَخَا فَهِمٍ لِإِدْرَاكِ الْعُلُومِ وما يدري الجهول بأن فيها غوامض حيرت عقل الفهيم إذا رمت العلوم بغير شيخ ضللت عن الصراط المستقيم وتلتبس العلوم عليك حتى تصير أضل من توم الحكيم. الغمر هو رجل غمر أي غر قليل الخبرة لم يجرب الأمور. يسي شاب غمر يعني أكثر ما يوصف به هو الشاب, because in the teenage years, that's when the teenager feels like he knows everything and everyone else is wrong and he's figured out life completely. And all of that is because of his ignorance. He hasn't experienced what the people before him have experienced. Every young man goes through this phase where he feels like he figured it out and everyone else older than him doesn't know anything that's going on. Okay, this is the phase of jahl murakkab. This is the phase of jahl murakkab. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he praised or when he mentioned his imtinan, his blessings upon Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say? وَلَمَّا بَلَغَ أَشُدَّهُ آتَيْنَاهُ حُكْمًا وَعِلْمًا. When Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam reached his main age, his peak age, we granted him two things, حُكْمًا وَعِلْمًا. And Allah did taqdeem of حُكْمًا over ilman. We granted him knowledge, but before knowledge we granted him the ability to make correct, right decisions. And that's what the youth lack, because their emotion and in Arabic we call this hamas or tahammus, their excitement, their passion overpowers their experience and knowledge. So they are very hasty in making decisions, and that's why the majority of the decisions of the youth will be wrongful. They will be mistaken. So if a young man does not rely on the experience of the ones that are older than him, then he will be misguided. And likewise, if someone wants to open books and try and read them himself, then he will make mistakes like Tum al-Hakim. You don't actually practice medicine. Tum al-Hakim, this individual, Tuma ibn Ibrahim, did not actually practice medicine and didn't study medicine with a mentor and a teacher. He just tried to open books and read and understand. And because of him, so many people died. Because he was giving them mistaken prescriptions. So likewise, we say regarding الطالب العلم الطالب في بداية طلبه, the student in the beginning of his journey of طلب العلم is like the teenager as he's embarking on the journey of life, and he's like his individual, the one who opens books and tries to read books and tries to understand based on just what he reads. 9 out of 10 times, what the talib thinks is right in the beginning of his journey is wrong. That should be like the default. What the student thinks, if he just started studying right now, for example, he's 1 year into studying, 2 years into studying, the majority of his conclusions are all flawed because they're based off of ignorance, a lack of knowledge. They're based off a lack of knowledge, but he will feel like he knows everything. That's why they say in ilm there's 3 levels. In ilm, there are 3 levels. The first level, the person becomes arrogant. I am a student of knowledge. I am studying. The second level, he feels like he knows everything. In his mind, I've attained everything. And when he reaches the highest level of knowledge, then he realizes that he knows absolutely nothing. This is the greatest level of ilm, when a person comes to the realization that he knows nothing. But before this, he will always go through a phase where he will feel like he is completely right and everyone else is wrong. And in his mind, his teachers are wrong and his classmates are wrong and his colleagues are wrong and everyone else is wrong. He figured it out. This is the phase of jahl murakkab. You have to go through this phase though to it in order to get to the end result. So everyone goes through it. It's fine. If you're going through the phase while you're listening to this, la bas, yani mashi shwaya, keep walking and you'll get to another stage, another phase that will calm you down a little bit. And if you take our word for it, don't go public with your opinions while you're in this stage. Otherwise, you're going to regret it. Because later on, you're going to change your opinions. Later on, you will change your opinions. Or if you want to not hold opinions and reserve your opinions, mashallah tabarakallah, utita hukman. Yani you have been granted the ability to make good decisions, where you reserve and you realize your weakness and you're willing to trust people that are before you regarding that, and you're not willing to be hasty and rush to conclusions. That is better for you. That is better for you. طيب. So he says, يَظُنُّ الْغَمْرُ أَنَّ الْكُتْبَ تَهْدِي أَخَا فَهِمٍ. Just because you have a little bit of dhaka, you're sharp, you're able to comprehend things quickly, you can catch the concept, right? Just because you're slightly smart and you're like a bookworm, like you always love reading books, you have a little bit of like the qualities of a nerd inside of you. Just because of that, you think you can just access the books and understand them yourself. Then he says, وَمَا يَدْرِي الْجَهُولُ, upon the scale of فَعُول, and this is for مُبالغة. And this individual is engaged in jahl murakkab. Okay? This poor, miskeen student of knowledge who's still in the beginning phases, who comes around and says, you know what, Imam Abu Hanifa, you know, he's a great Imam, but over here, you know, أنا أعتذر عنه, the hadith didn't reach him. This is his excuse on behalf of Abu Hanifa. The hadith didn't reach him. He says, وَمَا يَدْرِي الْجَهُودُ بِأَنَّ فِيهَا غَوَامِضَ حَيَّرَتْ عَقْلَ الْفَهِيمِ. And in this poor, miskeen, ignorant, beginner level student does not realize that within the ulum there are such ghawamid, there are such depths, and حَيَّرَتْ عَقْلَ الْفَهِيمِ, the very knowledgeable intellectual, they're the ones that were left perplexed. The geniuses of the past were left perplexed when it comes to some of the contents of these ulum, and you're going to come along and figure out, mashallah, tabarakallah, and you still haven't even gone through 3 phases, 3 levels of nahw, when you're going to figure everything out. Mashallah alik. So we say over here, intadhir, shwayya shwayya, la tastajil. Okay? You don't want to become recognized as Tum al-Hakim in the end. You want to be recognized as the great ulama of the past. They all went through this phase, and trust me when I say this, ahbab, every student of knowledge goes through that phase. I went through it, everyone goes through it. Especially if you're a bit intellectual and smart. يعني يخشى عليك أكثر. Okay. And the faster you can come out of this phase and come out of this realization, the better for you. But some people, they always remain in it. They never get to the point of knowledge where they get past it, right? So they will always remain ignorant, and they cause a lot of fitna in the ummah. A lot of fitna in the ummah. هدانا الله وإياهم جميعا.